This week's hike involved driving the 45 minutes up to Forbidden Plateau, just above Comox. From the parking lot, climb up onto Wood Mountain Ski Hill, which is a defunct ski hill. About halfway up, just in time to catch sunrise. I was actually quite surprised at how many of the alpine flowers are still out. Usually only see them in the early summer, springtime. So the trail makes its way up through the old ski area and down the other side. The first pond that you come across actually still had some mist on it. Some of the original foundations for the ski lifts are still standing. And there's your morning mist on the water. Just before the sun came over the hill to burn it off. And after you leave the backside of the ski hill, you enter Strathcona Park. It's a map showing where we enter the park. And it shows Mount Drabble, where I'm headed from the entry point. You can also reach Paradise Meadows along that same trail that I'll be taking. But that's a full day to get across to there. A lot of people go camping one night between here and Paradise Meadows. And here's the turn off to Paradise Meadows. And on the left side is the route that I often take to Mount Becher. And this will be the first time I've taken this route, which actually leads to the summit of Mount Drabble. But first you have to drop down over a gully, which takes you down a few hundred meters. And then you have to climb back up over a ridge on the horizon here. And down the other side of that ridge before the final climb up onto Mount Drabble. It's not a heavily used trail, so it gets a bit overgrown in places. But it's still quite passable. From the first outcrop here, you can start seeing some of the views of Strathcona Park. Some of the tricky parts about these rock outcrops that you have to cross over is it can be hard to see the trail. So people have put down some little rock cairns that are helpful. Although I found they were easier to see from above on the way down than above you as you climb. This first viewpoint is of Mount Drabble Lakes. Just some small lakes. There's actually a campsite that somebody's made. It's just enough room for one tent. There's several of these rock outcrops are quite steep and require a bit of scrambling to get up. A bit tricky when you're descending, of course, but nothing too serious. Few little patches of alpine flowers. Views back down to Drabble Lake. And looking back over the ridge to where I came from. Mount Becher. And more rock cairns. Reassure you that you're still on the route. As you approach the summit, it starts to flatten out into these open meadows with a couple of tarns or ponds along the way. Just speeded up the film here a little, just to show you some of the trail. And then as you get higher, it opens up the views into Strathcona Park. And ultimately, the high point, the rock cairn to mark the summit. couple of plastic tubes that are used to keep the logbooks for people who want to put down their name in the summit log. And yes, this is Mount Drabble. Many of those mountains in the background I've accessed from the other side of the mountains. And that was Mount Washington and that last knob, which is the ski hill, the active ski hill. Little summit selfie. Here's a view of all different mountains that are visible from the summit here. View of the glacier, the far end of that group of mountains. And on the way back down, pass by the little campsite next to Drabble Lake. And then it's back up and over the ridge and down into this gully once again, which is an amazingly green location. There's still a great deal of moisture in this area, which is good to see with all the fires that we're having in the interior of BC, where it's much drier. We've only experienced a couple of small wildfires on the island that have been taken care of quite quickly. Really makes for a nice mountain trail. Some good stand of trees. Not a lot of logging back in this area. Did manage to whack my head on one of these trees laying across the trail, right at forehead level. I was too busy watching where my feet were going and didn't look to see where my head was going. It's actually about 3 hours from the parking lot to the summit, and a similar time on the way back, of course. Mostly because of all these up and down sections of the trail. Normally I make better time going back down a mountain than going up. But when the trail goes up and down like this, pretty much makes the route in and out the same. So there's Mount Drabble in the background. Not very spectacular, just more of a hump than a pointy mountain. And one of the well-decorated mushrooms along the side of the trail. And finally, back up and over Wood Mountain Ski Hill. And back to the parking lot. Just speed it up for effect here. And that was my this week's hike.